You talking to me?
Yeah.
I'm 60.
Do you support Trump?
Absolutely.
Okay. And if you could go back in time, you could either vote for Donald Trump or Kamala Harris. Who would you rather vote for?
It wouldn't be a question, Donald Trump.
Okay. Why do you support Trump?
The man might be slightly offensive in his personality, but the man does his job. He's kept his promises. And the guy's fighting, even for people like you that hate him, where he lives in your head rent-free. He's fighting for you. He's making America better. He negotiates. He's brought peace. He's strong. He's bullheaded. Sure, all of those things. But as far as a leader, he's doing a great job.
Okay. Has he repealed and replaced the ACA? Has he built the wall and made Mexico pay for it? Has he ended the Russia-Ukraine war in 24 hours? Has he dropped the Epstein files?
So you like looking at timelines, and you pick things that you know are far more complex than you'd like to believe, but you know they are. You know that on day one, he began working on negotiations to end the war in Ukraine. You know that, and I know that.
He said he would get it done, and he said he would get it done in 24 hours. That was absurd.
You're right. Sure he did. But really, are you that childish that that is something that you think any rational person would believe? Or do you believe
so then why is he running on something that no rational person would believe?
Because you don't want to listen up to his follow-up. He has clearly said on day one, what did he do? He started with policies to bring the Ukraine and Russia to the table.
So why did he say he would start on day one rather than saying that he would finish it on day one?
Because
isn't that dishonest?
Oh my God. Let's talk about the dishonesty of Barack Obama. We can do the what ifs all you want. We can do the whataboutisms if you want.
He wore a tan suit, so dishonest.
Listen to you. You're picking up childish things.
What did he do that was dishonest?
Barack Obama?
Yeah.
Did you see what was in the Affordable Health Care Act?
Yeah.
And you believe that everything that was in there, he said was above board?
He said was what?
Above board.
What do you mean by above board? I don't know.
Everything that is contained in that Health Care Act, you believe it's all above board and that he was directly honest about all of that leading into it?
I think he was honest, yeah. How was he dishonest?
Have you seen the way that certain prices... Well, one, he lied about what the CBO said. Let's just go there.
What did he lie
straight
about?
Up lied.
What about the CBO?
He said that the Healthcare Act would be sustainable and that the CBO, he claimed, the CBO said that it would not be in debt and that it would continue. And that...
was that the estimation at the time?
The price of participation would remain and not escalate to the situation it has now. The CBO
I don't think he made a claim about the future because obviously he wouldn't know the numbers from the future. Can I ask you this question? Was he reporting on the CBO numbers at that time?
He misreported the CBO numbers at that time.
He misreported them. So can you give me a single source? Can you give me a single source indicating that he misreported them? And
you can go to gov.org and look at the CBO reports.
Doesn't necessarily indicate misreporting them doesn't necessarily indicate dishonesty. It could have been a genuine misunderstanding.
So we can if you want to play that game, that's fine. But we can go further, and we can also look at the man's comments and his workings behind the scenes, particularly on what he did underhanded leading up to Donald Trump's first election.
Like what?
You see, you're going to deny that any of that happened.
Like what
but
did he
the
do?
truth is out there, and you know it. And we can continue.
What game did he do?
You don't believe that in any way, shape, or form he attempted to use his power to influence the outcome of election?
Of course, he
right now, his actions, which right now are under investigation, and that his actions that are now under investigation, working with state, election controllers to undermine the voting process in the United States.
That's not true. He didn't do that. There's no evidence of that.
He's under investigation right now for
Yeah,
it.
and has the investigation indicated any evidence of that?
The investigation's ongoing. We don't know.
And you know that Donald Trump literally sent false slates. You know that Donald Trump in 20. You know that in Donald Trump in 2020, he sent false slates of electors to the Electoral College to cast Trump votes when he didn't win to try to steal the election in 2020. And he still to this day
That has not
says
been proven.
Yes,
that has not been proven.
That's exactly what he did. That was his legal defense. Was that it was legal for him to do, and that there were quote unquote alternative slates of electors. That's what his lawyer said.
Was he upheld in the Supreme Court?
What?
Was that upheld in the Supreme Court?
Was what aspect of it?
The entire aspect. You're claiming that he was accused and found guilty, and you're wrong. He wasn't. It's an accusation, nothing more. An investigation that went nowhere. But when we do look at the cases that have been brought up in front of the Supreme Court, not only has the Supreme Court sided with Donald Trump.
What case do you think would have gone to the Supreme Court?
I'll pull up some specifics right now.
What case do you think would have gone to the Supreme Court that you were referencing that I just said?
The one that you talked about, investigating him about sending false, that he was wrong in sending.
So to clarify, this is what they argued to the Supreme Court was their ability to engage in. Now, the Supreme Court not identifying that they specifically engaged in a violation of the law is not evidence that it shouldn't be a violation of the law, as he's actively undermining the election results in 2020, right, by doing so, because those quote-unquote alternative slates of electors were not legitimate electors, and they weren't to actually clarify the election results, because that's not how Donald Trump used them. He still today undermines the election results even when there was evidence indicating that he was wrong. So it was clear that it wasn't to ensure the integrity of the election.
I understand how you're twisting the words of that, but again, if you look at the Supreme Court ruling, they negated all of what you just said.
What did they say?
In the very hearing that you just cited. The Supreme Court sided with Donald Trump and found no wrongdoing.
So,
if you don't think,
pause.
Okay,
So,
I'd love to. I would love to be able to pull up the transcripts. Hang on, I would love to be able to pull up the transcripts.
I have a question.
That particular case, because if you pulled up the transcripts of that particular case, you and I both know that the very things that you just brought up, if you don't think those things were discussed in front of the Supreme Court,
in the court case,
the Supreme Court,
in the court case, listen, in the court case, did it say that Trump didn't do this? By the way, when you say no wrongdoing, I don't think that's the claim that it made. The claim that they made is that there necessarily wasn't a prescription of violation of the law. Just because there wasn't a violation of the law doesn't mean that there shouldn't be a consideration that it was a violation of the law. So we do think the law should be set up in a particular way.
You're contradicting yourself?
There's no contradiction.
You just contradicted yourself.
How so?
Yes, it is a contradiction. Okay, when you say that the Supreme Court found that there was no violation of the law, you said, and I quote, if you play this back, you'll hear it, you said, doesn't mean there wasn't a violation of the law. That's a contradiction.
Listen, I said
that's exactly what you said. Sorry, you might have tripped over your words and you might have misspoke. I am listening.
No, you might have misspoke. You're misunderstanding me.
No, I'm not. You might have misspoke, but that's exactly what you said.
Do you want me to play it back? I can explain it to you.
Go ahead. I'm listening.
Okay, I'll play it back for you.
I would love to be able to pull up the transcripts.
I have a question. Of that
particular case, because if you pulled up the transcripts of that particular case, you and I both know that the very things that you just brought up, if you don't think those things were discussed in front of the Supreme Court,
in the court case,
listen, in
the court case, did it say that Trump didn't do this? By the way, when you say no wrongdoing, I don't think that's the claim that it made. The claim that they made is that there necessarily wasn't a prescription of violation of the law. just because there wasn't a violation of the law doesn't mean that there shouldn't be a consideration that it was a violation of the law. So what do I mean by
There you
that?
go. You just said it. Now explain it. You just said it. Now explain it.
Yeah, I know you're going to crash out.
That's exactly what I heard you say, and that's a contradiction. There shouldn't.
That's not a contradiction. Would you like to stop? Would you like to stop crashing out so I can tell you?
Dude, I'm shocked that. Yeah, let me hear you explain your contradiction. Sure.
There's no contradiction because when I'm talking about what should be considered as a violation of the law, I'm talking about what I think the law should look like, not what the law currently looks like.
Oh, so you want to make laws up so that you can maintain your accusations of Donald Trump's wrongdoing? Great. That's really rich.
I do think that there are certain. I do think that there are certain laws that should exist that currently do not exist. Yeah.
But
what's so crazy about that?
The law is the law. No, because what you're trying to do is say that Trump is wrong by your standard of laws, by your laws that don't even exist.
Isn't that what you guys claim about the border? That we're wrong based on your standard of laws?
No, we're talking about laws that are already on the books in the manner in which that you enter our country legally.
You're talking about how you'd like to enforce them. Because not all laws... Wait, listen. Not all laws on the books do you enforce. So you're talking about how you want to enforce them.
No, we're talking about that laws should be enforced.
Not all laws.
It's not about
like, for example, you're currently on TikTok.
The laws clearly prescribe how they're enforced.
You're currently on TikTok. TikTok has been banned by the federal government. It's currently illegal, right? And it is the case that it's not just it's not being enforced by the Trump administration. Okay? So
Correct.
Not every law is necessarily enforced. So they do choose which laws they would like to enforce and which ones they would not like to. Now, can we, from an individual perspective, say, I think that this should be legal, or I think that this should be illegal? You understand that we do this all the time. We claim that things should be illegal,
we can have that conversation, but
isn't that what Donald Trump is doing when he's claiming that the Democratic lawmakers that are veterans that said that you shouldn't follow unlawful orders? Like, he's saying that they engaged in seditious behavior? Isn't he making his own prescription of what he thinks the law should be, as the current law does not classify it as seditious behavior?
Actually, the law does clarify seditious behavior.
No, it doesn't. That what they said is not seditious behavior. Saying that you should not follow unlawful orders is not seditious behavior.
That's not all they said, and you know that. That's the only.
What else did they say? What else did they say that was seditious behavior?
Did you watch the entire video?
Yeah, tell me. I'm just waiting. What did I miss?
I'm asking you a direct question.
I said
because
yes.
you know
can
exactly
you tell me?
what I'm talking about. Can you
watch
tell me the entire video?
What video are you referencing? Because maybe we're not referencing the same video.
No, the video that the 6 congressmen and women put out. Did you watch the entire video, or have you only watched the part where they said you don't have to follow illegal orders?
I've seen. I don't know if I've seen the whole video.
I haven't watched the entire video. Okay.
Well, then you tell me.
So they went on. No. They went on to make other statements concerning Donald Trump. And if you watch the video in its entirety, to draw the conclusion.
Was it like a very long video or something? I've watched a few minute video of them speaking about it.
It's there. They created one video. It's the video that went viral. It was directed at enlisted men.
Yeah, weren't they just saying do not follow unlawful orders? I'm pretty sure I've seen this.
They went on. They went far further than that. That was only one.
What did they say? Tell me. What did they say?
I'm asking you to go watch the video.
Can you tell me what they said that you think is seditious behavior?
Yes, they brought up. They brought up the fact that not only should they not do it, they went further. They went 4 degrees further with their claims. They said that if you do not need to follow Donald Trump's orders, so they in that video in its entirety.
Yeah, they said don't follow Donald Trump's orders if they're unlawful.
They instilled.
They said don't follow Donald Trump's orders if they are unlawful.
They went further than that. Much further than that.
What?
And you didn't watch the video.
Keep telling me. Tell me.
I'm not going to debate with somebody that didn't watch the video but is drawing conclusions based on a snippet of the video, which is what you're doing.
Wait, then tell me. Then
So I'm asking
just
you
tell
to
me.
watch the video.
Can you just
Why
tell
don't
me?
pull it up? Pull it up and play the whole video for your audience.
Okay, I would,
Educate
but like,
yourself and the
can you
audience.
just tell me before I do that?
I'm telling you, they went 4 degrees further. Each one of them made statements, and the only statement that the only statement you've heard that they said was not to follow illegal or unlawful orders. So we get to intent. What they said further in the video is where we get to intent. Their intent was to create disharmony, discord, and distrust. And they actually said not to trust their leaders. Okay, that is interference. And if you look at what sedition is in the U.S.
Saying
Constitution,
not to trust is not seditious, by the way. Well, that's ridiculous.
Oh wait, no. If you see, you haven't read the article.
We're gonna play the video for you because you're acting like a little crybaby. What video? Where'd you find the video?
I think it's still available on YouTube.
Yeah. Like what did you look up to find it? Because I just want to find that on YouTube.
Yeah, if you do a search, a Google search on Senator Sedition video,
Senator Sedition video.
And it's more than a 3-minute video.
It's more than a 3-minute long video. Where's it at?
Yeah, dude, why do you keep pivoting? You've pivoted away from.
I'm not pivoting. You just said to look it up. Wait, you just said to look it up. Wait, how am I pivoting? You just said to look it up.
But I know you're still looking at least you're looking this one up, but you do keep pivoting.
What did I pivot from?
The border. You brought it up. I started to hammer on it with facts, and you dissuaded. You pivoted on the election interference and why Obama's being investigated. You've pivoted on everything.
Wait, no, didn't we have a conversation about Obama and we were talking about the Constitution already? And then I brought this up in relation to that conversation?
Continue.
Weren't we talking about the Constitution and I brought this up in relation to the conversation?
Play your video. Go ahead.
Well,
it's more than 3 minutes.
Talking about the Constitution already? Weren't we talking about it yet? Because all the other ones like have commentary that I see. They don't actually have the video. Where is it at? I'm trying to find the video. I keep seeing like a thumbnail of the video, but I don't see it. Try their IG accounts. Mark Kelly. Senator Mark Kelly. Is this it?
Up next to my airplane. I've been shot down, nearly shot down multiple times.
No, I don't think that's it. Sorry, chat. I genuinely don't know where this video is. Would you like to tell me where you found it so I can try to get it myself? I can't hear you swiped out of the app, just letting you know. Fiona, by the way, thank you for the $10. Thank you so much, Fiona. Oh, that's so nice. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it, Fiona. Thank you. Okay. I'm really confused where this video is.
Been pulled.
It's been pulled.
It's been pulled.
Okay, how come we can't find the video at all though?
YouTube has pulled it.
Okay.
And I don't know, maybe it's a result of the fact that the Pentagon is now investigating it.
Let me find this. Democrats say not to follow unlawful orders. TikTok. Orders.
Yesterday, if you Googled...
Here we go.
was a captain in the United States Navy.
Former CIA officer.
Former Navy.
Former paratrooper and Army Ranger.
Former intelligence officer. Former Air Force.
We want to speak directly to members of the military
And the intelligence community.
who take risks each day.
Keep Americans safe.
We know you are under enormous stress and pressure right now. Americans trust their military.
But that trust is...
This administration is pitting our uniformed military
And intelligence community professionals
against American citizens.
like
There we
us.
go. That is
You all
seditious.
swore an oath.
to protect and defend this Constitution.
And right now, the threats to our Constitution aren't just coming from abroad, but from right here at home.
Our laws are clear.
That is
You can
seditious.
refuse illegal orders.
You can refuse illegal orders.
You must refuse illegal orders.
No one has to carry out orders that violate the law or our Constitution.
We know this is hard and that it's a difficult time to be a public servant.
But whether you're serving in the CIA,
The Army,
Our Navy,
the Air Force,
your vigilance is critical
and know that we have your back.
because now, more than ever,
The American people need you. We need you to stand up for our laws.
our Constitution,
and who we are as Americans. Don't give up.
don't give up.
Don't give up.
Don't give up the ship.
What was
And
seditious behavior?
That is the.
What is
that the
seditious
truth,
behavior
baby.
about what we just
They-
listened?
You just heard them say, coming from within the United States,
There are threats
is-
against our laws and our Constitution? That's
No.
true.
particularly in the ranks of the military, that is outside of their purview, and that is sedition.
What? That's
They
not
are-
sedition. To say
read-
that. Wait,
read-
it's not. It
yes,
is not
it
outside of
is.
their. It is not outside of their
You
purview to say that Donald Trump is causing division. That's ridiculous.
To purposefully instill
You think it's sedition
discord?
to say that Donald
To-
Trump is causing division? That's ridiculous.
Yes, it is. You're accusing the commander in chief. You absolutely. That goes
Okay,
beyond.
so
from
what
their
is
position.
define sedition?
And when it
Define
comes to the
sedition.
rank, again,
Define
they
sedition.
are interfering with the military.
Define
Well,
seditious
here-
behaviors. Saying Trump is causing division. Yeah, that's apparently seditious behavior, and he thinks that's punishable by death. You can't say that Donald Trump is causing division. That hurts my feelings. That really hurts my feelings. You can't do that anymore. You better stop that right now. That's seditious behavior. Saying that Donald Trump is divisive, how dare you? That is against our Constitution, our country, and everything that this country is founded on, because we have to be 100% pro-Donald Trump. And if you're not 100% pro-Donald Trump and you think that he's not causing division, well, it looks like Trump can call for your execution. And that's totally okay. Trump supporters will totally defend that one. You said that Trump caused division? How dare you? That's seditious behavior. And Donald Trump's going to repost something calling for your death. Like he already did. Dude, this is ridiculous. This is absurd. If you're on YouTube, hit that thumbs up. Make sure to hit 2,000 likes. Try to do that if we can. If you're on TikTok, tap that screen. Let's try to get to 2 million likes before we end it today. This is the last conversation for today. Just letting everyone know. It's diabolical. You back?
I'm here. I never left.
I hear you now. You did. You couldn't hear you when you swipe out of the app.
You understood that he clearly, the intent to create disharmony is sedition. It's right there in the definition.
Wait,
All right.
they're not intending to
create-
create disharmony
to
by
incite-
saying that
to
Donald
incite
Trump is causing
disloyalty.
division.
Oh, you interrupt me every time I start reading it to you.
Because what you're saying is stupid.
Lawful civil authority or inciting disloyalty. That is sedition. Or
You say that one more time?
to cause the destruction of lawful civil authority or inciting disloyalty or insubordination or refusal of duty. That is all sedition. So they were
Wait,
addressing
of legal duty,
Listen
by the
to
way.
me. God,
Duty
you
is
don't-
legal. It's a legal basis,
You're not
and that's the
listening
authority to the
you're not-
Constitution.
Oh my God, you interrupt every time because you know you don't want me to make a point.
Make your point, man.
If
Make
they
your
were
point, you
address-
fucking crybaby.
Oh my God, look at how you go. You can't
Put your
handle
tears
this.
in here.
If you say what you want, You're a petulant little piece of shit. You know that. If you're going to call me a name, I'll call you a name.
Well,
But the
you've
fact
been
of the matter
crashing
is,
out this whole time.
if they had made their statements on the floor of Congress, then Congress would have had the right to let it go or censure them. But they didn't. They went beyond the floor of Congress. They made a video directed at the military. They were interfering with enlisted people. And in that statement, they clearly were creating a situation using their civil authority to incite disloyalty and or insubordination. If you look at the oath that all military take, all ranks, yes, part of it is not to obey illegal orders. Now, if you know any enlisted man receives an order through the ranks, that order has been vetted by at least seven different levels of military. So that means 7 levels of military have all agreed it's a lawful order. So for them to do this, you have to look at their intent. Why were they addressing, beyond their authority, enlisted men? If it weren't for the intent to create or incite disloyalty or insubordination, that's absolutely what they were doing. To deny that is intellectually dishonest. And you know damn well that's what they were doing. And by definition, that is sedition. Now, if they claim all they were doing was reminding military personnel that they don't have to follow, but you played the video, so that's not all they said. But even if you stick with that, then Trump bringing up the act of sedition, he wasn't calling for anyone to be hung. He was just reminding senators that sedition does happen to carry the penalty of death. That's all.
He also reposted something saying HANG them, George Washington would have. Secondly, they're only in the context of sowing disloyalty. Is sowing disloyalty in terms of following the leader even when they make unlawful orders? That's what they specified and they were claiming. What did they claim in the video that we listened to? Listen, what did they claim in the video that we listened to that was specifically trying to sow disloyalty in situations in which it's not referencing unlawful orders?
They did reference unlaful orders. They said they were coming from within.
Yes, which means threats specifically
talking
towards
about
our Constitution. Donald Trump is actively coming after our Constitution. He has given unlawful orders specifically to ICE. He's given unlawful orders. Yeah,
Please name one.
Yeah, specifically in terms of the unlawful orders, like for example, the one in which they deported Kilmar Brega Garcia to a concentration camp in El Salvador, SICA. That was an unlawful order determined by the Supreme. Wait, was that an unlawful order determined by the Supreme Court?
By the way, he was given due process
after they violated the order from the Supreme Court.
The plane was already in the air.
I'm sorry. They could have. They could have
Supreme Court,
limited
by
that
the
from
way,
happening.
The Supreme Court didn't decide that while he was being deported.
Well, I'm sorry. You understand that literally can be limited in the first place. Secondly, the Supreme Court just literally said that Donald Trump was in violation, okay? And that he was not doing the right thing.
Or did they bring him back?
Wait, so I'm sorry.
No, stop.
This is well after. This is well after. They said they tried to claim that they couldn't, which was a lie, and they clearly were able to, right? He was literally tortured while being there. Okay, that's just an example of one unlawful order. Let alone all the other ones where they specifically are able to literally not.
Senator.
You're not even listening.
You're laughable. No, I'm not, because at this point you're laughable. Because the Supreme Court decision came down after the action had already taken place. And did he disobey the Supreme Court? No, he didn't. He brought him back.
He did disobey the Supreme Court. That's literally what the Supreme Court said.
No. As soon as the Supreme Court...
He did disobey the Supreme Court. What are you talking about? Do you not remember when he disobeyed it? He literally talked about disobeying it after. What are you talking about?
No, that's not true.
He did. He literally did.
The Supreme Court did not rule until after he was already deported.
But they were talking about... He was saying, oh, there's no way we can get them back. There's no way we can possibly get them back.
We did get him back.
No, you understand that was then proven wrong. And by the way, the Supreme Court themselves determined that he was in violation of that order. Secondly, I can keep giving you plenty of different examples. I can give you plenty of different examples of how Donald Trump has violated literally the constitutionally
waiting.
protected rights of Americans, right? Which again would be a basis of following unlawful orders under that perspective. Push the money gun. He sent the National Guard into areas in which literally he was not allowed to, because there's
And
a
the Supreme
constitutional
Court has
issue with
upheld
doing so.
that. He had the right to.
No, he did not have the right to.
Yes, he did. He has the right to send in the National Guard when a
Not to
state
air- not
government
to-
fails. When a state
not-
government fails. When a state government fails to protect federal agents and federal property, he has that right, and that has already been determined.
It's only
He
in
indeed-
specific emergency circumstances which were shown to have not been present. So he actually didn't have the
Yes,
right in the circumstance in which he sent them.
Yes, the endangerment of life. The endangerment of
What
life.
was there to protect?
of federal agents.
Wasn't it determined that
Federal
they weren't
agents.
actually protecting, and it was actually just
Yes,
making it
it
worse
was.
off?
Yes, it was.
No, it wasn't. The court
states-
specifically,
no.
the court specifically
In every
determined that
state
it was.
that it
It was.
happened-
What are you talking about? I live in LA. Like, you understand that we had the National Guard, and that was in violation of the law. The courts determined that because the governor did not say that they were okay, and it did not meet the criteria for emergency circumstances. They weren't protecting federal because it was actually making our federal buildings, because it was actually making it significantly worse off in terms of the safety. In terms of federal buildings, because of the fact that it caused significantly more uproar. I can't hear you when you swipe out of the app, just letting you know. And by the way, you never even mentioned what was seditious behavior, like in actual factual terms. You just keep claiming that it's seditious behavior and that they were trying to sow disloyalty, when I can give you plenty of examples, again, of these unlawful basis of things that specifically Donald Trump is advocating for. He literally called for them to be executed by saying HANG them, right? George Washington would have, by reposting that. That's insane. No presidential candidate should be fucking allowed to do that. That's absurd. That's absurd. You're out of the app and I can't hear you. You have to be able to see me in order for me to be able to hear you. Alright, I think he's like almost leaving. Yeah, I should ask him where he was on January 6th. If you're on YouTube, hit that thumbs up, everyone. Let's try to get to 2,000 likes before I end the stream today, everyone. I would really, really appreciate it. Oh, he left. He left, bro. What was his name? Maybe he accidentally left. That's so absurd, bro.